So this video is going to be about being more private. So example, there was a lot of times in my life where I had a goal, right? I had a very great idea and I wanted to get other people's opinions about it, see what they thought. But one thing I failed to realize is that people don't really care about your idea as much as you do. They would never care about your idea as much as you do. And if you do find a person, please take care of that person, because that is extremely rare. But anyways, yeah, I soon realized that people, one, don't give a fuck, and two, I was diminishing my own power to get that thing completed. Because one, when you tell somebody about your goal before you even got started, it sends off completion signals in the brain, dopamine signals in the brain, signaling that you already completed that thing, right? So when you initially go start, your willpower is diminished already. You're already starting from a lesser point than you could have already started from, simply because you told that person. And it's funny because you also get stuck in this thing I like to call complacency circulation. So basically what complacency circulation is just analysis paralysis, right? You think that you need all these perfect aspects to be in alignment for you to even get started. If that doesn't come into fruition, you're just going to keep recycling these ideas, whether or not it was a great idea or not. And you're also, when you go to ask people, you're also subconsciously looking for their approval, right? So if you're subconsciously looking for their approval and you're not giving that to yourself first, you're not even going to get that done, right? You're being a passenger in your own plane. You need to fly your own life. You need to be the pilot of your own life and not the passenger. People never ever have your best interests in mind, simply because they don't know you holistically in totality, bro. They don't. So they don't even know what's best for you. The only person on planet Earth that knows what's best for you is yourself. So you have to move in that same manner and become the own boss, become the CEO of your own choices, right? If a CEO came to me and asked me as an employee, should he make this decision, I'll be questioning his ability to lead, because he's the fucking CEO. He's above me. So why would he be coming to me about making a decision? That doesn't make any sense. So you have to treat your life the same way. You have to, if you have an idea and you know it's going to work and you want to test it out, ask nobody for approval. Do it yourself. See if it works out. If it doesn't, okay, cool. If it do, even better. Now people can see that you're a competent person, and you don't need to go out and ask all these people for approval for a basic ass decision, right? And they'll value way more because they see that you're a competent person. They see that you can act on the decision and you're not a complacent fucking loser. And asking for opinions and thoughts on a specific topic or a specific item that you may bring to somebody, where that comes from is actually a primal instinct. People inherently do not want to be an outcast. They don't want to be an outlier. They don't want to be the black sheep, right? Because primally, if you're the black sheep, you're going to be sent out of the tribe. And if you're sent out of the tribe, you literally are sent out to fucking die. Like, you have no resources. You have no culture. It's just you. And eventually you're going to die. So primally, our minds are built in this way. So you have to go against your own nature in order for you to actually guide your own life, in order for you to be the pilot of your own life, right? You have to stop asking for approval. You have to stop subconsciously looking for approval out of yourself, and you have to give it to yourself first, especially if you want to do good things in your life, especially if you want to create exceptional things in your life. You have to just go out and fucking do it and not give a fuck what anybody else says, like parents, friends, family. Just don't give a fuck. It's always better to ask for forgiveness than it is permission. Always, 100% of the time. Always better to ask for forgiveness because it's already done. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you can ask somebody for permission to do this thing, right? And it can be the best thing that ever happened for you. And it will never happen because you let somebody make that decision for you. And you only get one of these lives. You only get one of this shit. So why would you even sit here and let somebody be in control of that when you only get one of these shits? When you work in silence, you save your energy for only what you're working on. You don't have to worry about other people's opinions. You don't have to worry about other people's negative beliefs on what you're doing. You don't have to satisfy other people's opinions of you, their version of your identity in their mind. You don't have to satisfy that. And we all inherently know that, like, if we looked at somebody, or if we can like go through our like following list or friends list, we know like each specific individual views us in a specific way. We know this for a fact. Like, not everybody sees us exactly the same way. There's a million different versions of you in other people's minds. So it'll be ridiculous for you to even try to satisfy everybody. Right? This is why it's best to just be unapologetically yourself. And whoever doesn't fuck with you, they just don't fuck with you, bro. And it is what it is. There's 8 billion people on this motherfucker. At least somebody gotta fuck with me, right? You gotta think about life that same way. You got to stop being a people pleaser. That was one of my biggest issues. Like, in the past, I'll be trying to please everybody, right? Because I never gave that love to myself. And when I started giving that love to myself, everybody started fucking with me, right? Because my own self-love, when I didn't love myself, it didn't show through my fucking avatar. Nigga, my appearance didn't show self-love. When I started giving myself love, I started showing up. Then I started giving other people love, and I get that shit back. And it's just an everlasting cycle, right? But nobody will ever tell you that. You have to figure that out yourself. Well, I'm telling you that. But in daily life, nobody is ever going to tell you that, bro. Because they don't care about you that much. You have to realize this. Like, majority of people, even like your best friend, even like all the people around you, they care about themselves way more than you care about your own self, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you gotta understand this and take control of your life. Because that's at that moment in time when you understand that, you stop trying to satisfy other people's viewpoints of you. That's the most important thing when you try to do something different outside of what everybody else is doing. Because at that moment in time, you become the black sheep. Nobody wants to become the black sheep. Everybody think they want to become the black sheep. Everybody thinks it's cool to become the black sheep. But once you actually become the black sheep, you realize you have all these different like epiphanies that the reality that you were in really wasn't how you thought it was. People don't really fuck with you how you really think people fuck with you. And that's a very hard pill to swallow. And you will try to attach yourself to the old identity because you were naive, right? You can't do that. You have to lock in with yourself. You have to lock in with yourself. Then that's when you are able to have everything come into fruition, right? In silence, by yourself. Nobody has to see your grind. Right? Nobody has to know what move you're making, right? In the 48 Laws of Power, it talks about how you should not let your enemy know your next move. You should never ever tell your enemy your next move, right? Now, I'm not saying that like everybody outside of you is your enemy, but hear me out. Not everybody outside of you is your enemy, but whatever in their mind, that's your fucking enemy. Yourself is your enemy. If a version of yourself in somebody else's mind doesn't satisfy whatever you want to complete, if it doesn't identify or prove whatever you want to complete, if it goes completely against that version of yourself in that person's mind, that's your enemy. You cannot let your enemy know your next move, otherwise they'll stop you. Can't let that happen under any circumstance. You can't let that shit happen, right? Because they will stop you. They will tell you negative shit. They will tell you that it won't work. It can't happen. You need to go get a real job. They will tell you that shit because it doesn't satisfy that version of yourself in their mind. And you have to stay away from this. You can't even let that situation even happen. So how you let that not happen? You just don't fucking ask them. You simply do not ask them, and you just do. You do. Once people see the fruit of your labor, then they'll realize, oh shit, he was right. Oh shit, like, how did you do this? Everybody's crazy until it works. You hear this over and over again. Everybody's crazy till it works. Right? Nobody people want to see you, like, inherently people want to see you fail, because if you don't fail, that makes them insecure, right? It shines a light on the aspects of themselves where they fail to complete things in their life, and it makes them feel weird. It makes them feel exposed. That's why people, or at least majority of people, this is why you have to surround yourself with people who is on your same level. People will literally get insecure of your own success, and they literally just will start hating on you, like, subconsciously, and they'll distance themselves because you shine a light on the aspects of themselves that they hate. Right? If I went from like rags to riches and I posted my whole journey online, right, the love I was getting, like, before that, the people I was interacting with before that will see me in a completely different light if I went from rags to riches and I posted my whole journey. Now, you're gonna have like extremes on these two polarities of positive and negative. Some people are literally gonna stop fucking with you and hating on you, and people are gonna show you immense love. It's all individual cases. It's all on an individual case. People are either gonna hate you for succeeding, or people are gonna love you for succeeding. This is why, like, if you're driving a fucking Lambo around, right, you're gonna run into a lot more like jealous niggas, because you're exposing them in that moment in time, and like making them aware of their situation, their current position in life, right? If I'm driving around in a fucking SVJ, a Lamborghini SVJ, and it's this person next to me in a fucking like Nissan Frontier, he's way likely to be more jealous of me than another nigga in an SVJ. People at the top don't hate on people at the top. People at the top don't hate on people below them. They encourage them, they motivate them. But people at the bottom always hate people at the top, because they feel like internally they can't reach that thing themselves. So the only thing that they revert to is hatred. And you can't even let people do that to you, bro. This is why you have to work in silence and just let them see the fruits of your labor.